Well, I think it's very hard not to be swept along because these valuations go up and people are asking how, what do you think? And if you say pessimistic things like I say, then people are going to dismiss you as an old crank. And so it's hard not to be swept along, but you just have to realize that it's probably going to come down because that's what we've had happen over the last 5-10 years is that all these bubbles have popped. This bubble, you can say, oh, eventually it'll all work out. Yeah, but it's probably not going to work out for those companies just because AI works out, and I always, my favorite example of this Amara's law that supposedly we always
Yes.
overestimate in the short term, underestimate in the long term. I say, well, what about Charles Babbage? He did all this great work on mechanical computers in 1870, 1880, or 1860, and his assistant,
Yes.
Ada Lovelace, very smart people. But, there was no market for another 80 years. I don't like it when people talk about the potential. Oh, it has such great potential. Yeah, quantum entanglement and the Einstein-Rosenberg bridge, they all have great potential. But that doesn't mean they're going to happen soon. You have to understand if things are going to happen soon. So I talked a lot about, is there a market and is there happy customers? Is there improvements in productivity? But it's also, is there an improvement somehow in the technology? Is there an improvement? So you look back at the early days of the personal computers, and of course, people were talking about Moore's law. They're going to get better. So that was very obvious. Even in the early days of e-commerce, when we first started using Amazon to buy books, we could see that there's rapid improvements in bandwidth. So we saw that websites were going to evolve from just text to pictures and video and other things, and that would enable all these other forms of e-commerce to emerge. So does that exist? So a lot of people say, oh, we're in the early days of AI. No, I mean, AI has been around for a long time. People talked about it for a long time, right? This is the third wave. And then
Yes,
and even
exactly.
if in the third wave, it's not new. Neural networks have been around for a long time. And the CEO of OpenAI said, well, we're not going to build any more big models. So there goes one of the big ways that improvements are going to occur. So I don't see big improvements happening. There'll be some, although maybe not a lot. It's hard to say. Recently, OpenAI announced that they will no longer offer their software for detecting whether something has been written in AI because they say it doesn't work well enough. Well, wait a minute. Isn't it supposed to get better? Right? And they said something about it was worked 75% of the time, and they produced some numbers. And there's other companies that offer this type of software, but all of this makes me suspicious because they're kind of saying, well, this is a lot harder than we thought. I'm saying, well, yeah, I'm certain there is. So we keep finding out that things are harder to do. And so I keep looking for, what's the facts in the situation and how hard is it to do? Because that's what I want to know. How hard is it to do? What kind of performance do we have now? What are we going to have in the future? What do customers want? These are the kinds of questions I think you need to be asking. People need to be asking.